Hi again, welcome everyone for this second tutorial of our point of sale. And as last time we had actually checked on the point of sale and how we can do our setup within the front office of the Positive ERP system. Now today we want to look at how the ERP system, the operation mechanism of how you can sell and how the sales are being done within the entire ERP system. So this is one of the most interesting and most used, and I'm sure a lot of people will want to know, like, how do I do this? How do I, maybe if I want to do like sales, what am I supposed to do and all that. So this is the interface, and I'm sure most of you, this interface is common to some of you. If you visited maybe some of the shops like Quickmart, or you visited shops like Society Stores or Mulei's supermarket, you will see their point of sales are like that, and it is actually one of the most common point of sales that are being used by some of our major retailers in the country. Now this point of sale, as last time we had discussed about setup, today I want to discuss something different, and that is majorly to do with the transactions. And you can see there are so many sub helps here that can help you do your transactions. Yeah, like now, for example, in the transactions, you can see if the cashier wants to begin his work, this is where you issue the float. You can put here a float maybe of, let's say you give your cashier a float of 5,000, or let's say they are given a float of 10,000. There you can indicate there a float of 10,000. So this is where you input the float of cashiers, so that you can be tracking on that float if in the course of like business continuing, and in the course of maybe selling and all that stuff. And then we have the sales orders here for the sake of the wholesales, and mostly the wholesales, how they operate in this system is that you'll find a customer goes into the counter, speaks to the sales guys, and then the sales guys will take the order, and then that order is printed on the back office end. So once it has been printed at the back office end, the customer will come with the sales order, the POS at the cashier, and then he hands over the sales order, and then what the cashier does is simply just scans the sales order here. So once he scans the sales order here, then all the products that the customer had bought will appear here. So this is how they will, let's say he has scanned this. So let's say that is what he has scanned. So when he scans, the products will appear just like that. So you see, like that will appear there. Let's say maybe he's also scanned another one. I'm doing it manually because I don't have a scanner here, so I'm doing this manually. So this is the item cannot sell under cost. So that is one of the strengths, yeah, that the POS normally highlights. If maybe your item is going to sell under cost, then the system will detect for you, and maybe it will not be able to sell. So unless the rights you are given, you may be able to change. That. So let's scan another one. So that is a product I've scanned. So you can see here, if you scan, I'm doing this manually, but if that product does not exist, let me find another product. Let's say this. Okay, that one exists. So the moment you scan, the cashier scans that sales order, those products will appear like this. And of course, she will finally, or he will finally do the tendering. Now with the tendering, you can either do an F10, or you just come here and do tender. You can see even here it has indicated for you F10, or just click here tender. So if you click there tender, it will appear here. This is how you finalize your transactions. Or if maybe you've forgotten, but this one the cashier cannot forget, it still comes back to our helps here. You can just try to check for our helps, and then you can see F10. This is now receive payment. F10 shows you here it is receive payments. That is now tendering. So let's say you tender here. So this is now the final transactions where you do. So what happens here is that you can either input in cash. If the cashier is paying full amount in cash, you can just indicate there in cash. So if the cashier is bringing a check, you can also input there in terms of a check. Okay, so if you say check and then you say enter, you can say check there, and then maybe if you say check there, that is this is check, then let's say enter. Okay, that is just in a nutshell to show you different transactions that are taking place. Now mostly if it is M-Pesa, you can check there M-Pesa. Okay, now this is check. Okay, I don't know why it has taken quite some time to come out, but that is how the check will look like. Of course, you'll put the check number here, and then you put the name of the employee, the name of the customer. That is, if this is Gabriel Aura. Okay, if the bank is okay, maybe you can input, let's say if your bank is World Bank, you can put there World Bank. And of course, definitely if you come from Bungoma or which town you're transacting from, so you can put those details there. So that is how the check transactions will appear. And then if maybe you're putting credit cards here, let's say it's a credit card. So if it is a credit card, so it will ask you for a PIN pad, and then you'll select. Unfortunately, I've not set any PIN pad here, that's why the OK, it's not actually active. But if you set the PIN pad, you select just the PIN pad, and then you complete the transaction. You complete the transaction. That is in terms of credit card. And of course, there are invoices. There are if they are CAP customers, and of course if they are M-Pesa customers, which I will say just let's select M-Pesa. If it is M-Pesa, that is how it will appear. And of course you'll put the transaction ID here, the transaction ID there. Then once you put the transaction ID, the inquire will be active. Once you inquire, then all these other details will come here automatically. So once it comes automatically, then the accept button will be active. You say OK. Once you say OK, then the POS will print a receipt. So that is how it is. Now for now, let us just finalize it in cash, and we see how it will happen. So that is the tendering. So once you do the tendering, of course the system will print for you a receipt. Because now you can see now the communication of the till with the servers. So you see the communication with the till with the servers. So that tendering has been done. So you can see here our receipt has actually changed to 8. It was initially 7, but now it is 8. So every time you do a tender of any other receipt, this receipt will constantly continue changing. Like let's do another one here. Another product here, you will see. Okay, this product, I don't know why I'm selecting that wrong product. Let me put a good product here. Okay, let me just. Okay, that is sugar. So I will do tendering, of course. I'll just do the tender here. I want you to check the receipt number if it will change. Let's say now here it's, of course, it's cash. This guy is paying cash. We'll say OK. Okay, so the POS is communicating with the server to print a receipt. That is OK. The receipt has been printed. So that is the receipt has been printed. Now you can check here. What receipt number is it? It is receipt number 9. So which means the number of customers that have been served in this, there are nine customers. Now, before even anything that is done, what happens here, you can be able to view your receipts, because all the receipts, all the transactions that have been done in this till, you are still able to check them because they are still in your till. Okay, they are never taken away. They are still in the till until you do a Z report. That's when now these receipts will be taken to the back office. So before the Z report is done, all the receipts, all the transactions, they are still kept at the point of sale. So you can track, these are the number of number of customers that have been actually served here. So this is you can see those are the receipts, and that is how the receipts will look like. You can do a refund here from here, or you can even load a receipt to something somewhere else. So that is what exactly how you do tendering in different transactions in the POS. Okay, now from here you find that the cashier can do what we call a bank pickup, especially when they want to go bank the money. They come here and they say they need what amount of money. So if they say, let's say for example, the cashier wants to take, I'll put 500 here. So this is 500, we assume he's come for bank pickup. So he's picked that, and of course the POS will print 2 receipts. So it will print 2 receipts, one for the chief cashier to go with and one for the cashier to remain with during, so that it can help him close his day. So that receipt, and then each receipt is signed by either of the parties, that is the cashier and the chief cashier. They're the ones who are going to sign, or even if the manager is the one that did the bank pickup, then they are the ones who he's supposed to sign. Of course, here again you can see if you want to do petty cash, you simply just come here and click there, petty cash, or if you want if you want a shortcut for that, of course some of you are going to master these things, you just go for help and then you press a key there for the petty cash. So here, once you've pressed that petty cash amount, you check. This is normally cash that is taken, and how much. Maybe let's say the cashier is picking, petty cash is giving out 200 shillings for something. So he picks it at the POS and then he records it there, and then you say okay. Now remember, whatever is happening at the POS here, the POS captures the data. Every activity that is done within the POS, it captures the data. So there is nothing that you can do outside the system that or inside the system that the system will not actually be able to capture the data. So that is the petty cash. Unfortunately, it's looking for a printer to print, and I don't have a printer here, that's why it's delaying. So that is the petty cash that has been done. You can also do what we call a cash purchase pickup. Cash purchase pickup, that is cash purchase pickup amount. You can also indicate there. These ones are normally done with a special till, and it's done by those cashiers who've been given the rights to do this. So not every cashier or not every till will be able to do that, but maybe in a company they can dedicate just one of the tills to be able to operate like that. So whatever you do here, even if it is cash purchase, petty cash, and whatever, including even staff withdrawals. Let's say the staff here can be able to withdraw. Staffs can be able to withdraw their salaries from here because they are having biometrics. And right now you can see it is telling me unable to initialize the smart card system because I've not connected the SmartMan, the biometrics here. So that's why it is not actually picking. At the same time, also with the deposit, the staff can be able also to do a deposit, but I've not also connected that. But if I connect, maybe in future I'll connect so that you'll be able to see, or maybe if you have some time, you can just visit our offices and then you may be shown these things in details. So if you have the biometric smart card connectors, then all this, what the cashier just does, he comes and clicks here staff, and then the staff will say, I want to withdraw, or I want to deposit, or maybe they want to take the advance, or if they want to pick up their lunch, because there are some companies that they assign lunches for their workers. Yeah, a worker will be given maybe every day 200 shillings for his lunch, so they come and pick it from the POS. So that's why initially when I was introducing this, I said the POS, the way it is designed, it is not just designed as a mechanism of selling, okay, but it is also designed as a mechanism to operate like a cash book, whereby it gives its own records, it keeps its own records, and also accountability of whatever has happened throughout the day. Now we have also these customers that we call the CAP customers. These are customers who come to give deposits. Okay, maybe a customer will come and they say, I need a refrigerator, but I don't have enough money right now. So what do? I have less I want to give a deposit, and once I give a deposit, I will come and clear. So once I clear, then I'll pick my refrigerator. The same way also with televisions or even cakes. Yeah. So what they do, they come here. First of all, you create an account for them. So for this case, I've already created an account at the back office. The account is normally created at the back office, and I'll take you through that when we will be dealing with the back office. So when they want to do a deposit, they simply come at the POS here, and then of course, you know their names. So if their name is, let's say it's Gabriel. So there, you see it has brought all the names because I have the account here, and then it will give me, so this is here. So let's say I want to deposit cash. If it is cash, you just indicate. If it is a check, you indicate there. Okay. If it is a check, you indicate there. If it is a cash, you indicate also there. So these are some of the things that you will be able actually to come across, especially when you are using the POS. So this is, if it is a check, you indicate there, and then you indicate the bank that the check is actually deposited from. But for this case now, let us just deal with cash. Let us just deal with cash. Just a minute. Come here again. So for this case, let us just deal with cash. And then I will indicate the name here. This is my name. So I will say the name is Gabriel. You see, you don't have even to type everything. The system knows you're existing. So it knows I'm existing. So there, of course, with the cash here, let me indicate like have deposited 10,000. Okay, let me indicate there. Okay, 10,000 details, of course, you say maybe deposits. I will indicate here deposits. Let's just follow the order of uppercase and lower cases. Deposits, and of course so that is the amount. The amount was in cash. Anything else I'm missing here? I don't think I'm missing anything, so I will just say that amount, it was 10,000. So this was cash. This is the unpaid. Well, just a minute. I'm just trying to see some things here, why this area is not active. Okay, so I had other Dennis, so when I paid the money was very less. So let me say it's 20,000. So let's say it's 20,000 there. Let's say it was 20,000 there. So this is where you just indicate the deposits and all that stuff, and then after that you say okay, and then the deposits will be taken. I think I have an issue kidogo there, but I'll check on it. So that is how you do a deposit. And then of course, when you're doing a CAP increment, you can the CAP increment, this is now the money's amount to increase payable CAP. Let's see, Gabriel. So I will indicate 10,000. And then I say, let's just put increment. So I will say okay. And of course it will print a receipt there. And then there is this CAP deposit, whereby a customer will come and do a deposit. So let's say here I will say this is Gabriel. Okay, and then I will come here and do a deposit of amount 10,000. Okay, which is cash. I will indicate there. Okay. So already now, once I've done that, you see, I have already done the deposit received cash, which is 10,000. Okay, so which is now around, the customer had a balance of 5,200. He's added 10,000, so the total is 15,200 in his account. So deposit balance, if I go to the back office now to check for this balance, then you will be able to see the deposit balance. This guy, his pesa, the money he has in our accounts is 15,200. So that is what is deposited. That is just simply how you do a deposit at the point of sale here, so that the moment you do this, it reflects some other areas. Now there is also this EPAS mechanism. So the EPAS mechanism, it is just an electronic pass, whereby you enable customers be able to save the little amount of maybe change that has remained, so they can push it in the EPAS, so that in future, if the monies have accumulated, then they are able to redeem the monies and use it even to purchase other things within the shop. So this one saves you a hassle of maybe at times you don't have coins, and then you end up giving customers sweets other than giving them their money. Some of the customers we've seen, they are actually very mad when you give them sweets. So you can actually be able to tell them, or switch the little coins that, or the little change that they have, they owe you, you owe them. So what happens is that you switch it to the EPAS, so that you save it to their own personal EPAS account within the system, so that they can be able to use it in future. Okay, they can also come and say, how much do I have in my EPAS? Use the electronics. Of course, they have their card, biometrics they put, and then it indicates, it shows them how much they have. Then from there, they will be able actually to use the monies. If it is maybe over 1,000 shilling, they can get something worth the amount within the premise. So that is one of the advantages of using an EPAS platform. And then we have also the e-banking system. And this one we had actually begun with the Chase Bank, and unfortunately Chase Bank, what happened to Chase Bank? It happened. It is in public domain, you know what has happened. But at the same time also, we've done it with other banks, that people are able to deposit money electronically using our system. But that one now, since most of the supermarkets are not licensed bankers or wherever, so most of them, some of them may not actually be able to use this mechanism so much. And of course, lastly, here the POS, you have reports. Now we have one of the reports called the X reports, like you can see here, this one. So the X report shows you actually total amount of cash that you have within this till. So with this report, managers are able to solve some of the unnecessary problems that the cashiers may incur with the customers. Okay, at times a customer will say, oh, I gave this cashier 2,000 or 1,000 shilling, and the cashier is giving me less change, and I gave him, you know, things like those ones. So with this report, a manager will be able to know. He just comes, checks the X report, and then sees the amount that the system is saying, and then from there he will tell the cashier to count all the monies that he has at the cash drawer. Then if the monies are too many than what the system is saying, then he will know the cashier has been stealing from the customer. Yeah, the cashier stole from the customer. But if the monies are actually the same, the way equivalent to what the system is saying, then the managers will know that maybe the customer had issues, unnecessary issues. So with this one, you are able to check and even monitor a lot of things in terms of bank pickups and in terms of sales that have been happening. So this is the cash X report, and then we have the cash breakdown. So this cash breakdown, normally it is a cash breakdown. It's F8. You can finya F8, or you bring it that way. So this one, before, when the cashiers are closed a day, okay, the monies that they have at the cash drawer, they are supposed to indicate it at this report. That is the first thing they are supposed to do before they close. They close or do a Z report. So they indicate all the amount. If it is 1,000, how many 1,000s do you have? So you indicate them in terms of cash, in terms of the amount. If it is 1,000, let's say 1,000, it's if 1,000, it is about 10,000. So you indicate that. It is 500. 500 is only one, you indicate 500. That is 500. So if it is 200, maybe you can say 200. If 200, 200 is how many are they? 200, 200 there are 3, you say there are 600. Okay? So if it is 100, you indicate there and all that stuff. So after that, you do what? You do a close. You save. And then once you've saved, then everything will be captured. Then from there, the cashier or the chief cashier will come and verify if everything is right. And then from there, he will authorize you to do a Z report. Okay? So you can also see this report that shows you, do you wish to print all items? Like right now, I don't wish to print because I don't have a printer. So it's just a report to show you how many things or how much have you sold today. It's a very huge report, very, very huge report. And then there is also this report that shows you how many or how much stock you received today. This one also the point of sale knows how much stock you're supposed to you received today in terms of the GRNs that were done, so it can print you that report. Also the shelf, expected stock at the shelf, also it shows you the expected stock at the shelf and what you expected to be having at those shelves. Also that report is indicated there. And even the items that were received today in terms of GRN, stock positions also. So the point of sale knows if you do a GRN, then definitely it is expecting to sell certain number of products within the premise. So it also knows, and you can print this report right direct from the POS. And then there's this shelf parameter. You are able also to check the shelf parameters. Like you can say if you've named your shelf like A1, let's say that is A1, that is a shelf for foodstuffs. So it knows, so it can give you all the parameters and the stock positions of each and every shelf that you have there. So this is in a nutshell, it is what the POS does. It does all these things apart from just selling and you know, printing receipts. So that is in a nutshell, that is what the POS is designed. It is designed to do. Okay, so you can see here, like now these ones, they are actually in letter forms, but all of them are actually in this format. So you can either come here and select if you want to add float. You can either come here and say do transaction here and then you add float, or you can just say transaction here and then you add float. They are all the same. You can either use here. Okay, you can either use here. Or you can just come direct to these blocks, or you can even come here to pause. You say you want to go to setup, or you simply just can come here, pause, and then you come to setup here. So we have also reports, all these reports that we've said: X report, cash breakdown, sold day report, received items report, shelf stock position, GRN stock position, shelf parameters reports. All those reports you can also be able to see them here. X report, you just click this report and then you show you see the results here. So in a nutshell, that is what the POS actually is designed to do. Now when you want to do a Z report, now the final, now we want to close this till, what happens is, okay, what happens is the cashier is supposed to do the cash breakdown just like as we said. So he will do an F8, and the F8, just a minute, I want to, so that I can, so total amount is 9,623. So I will do a breakdown here. So I will say this is 9,000, but for your case you will not be able shillings, so I would say it is 3. Okay, and then here I will save. So that is the cash breakdown the cashier has done. So he's saving the cash breakdown before we do a Z report. So of course that is what I've done. Then from there, what I will do, I'll just do a Z report. I just come here and say Control Z. So Control Z, that one now it's populating a little bit because my database, I messed up with some things. That's why it is a little bit actually slow. It has to, you know, analyze a few things here and there. So that's why you see it like that. So give it just some time as it is populating. So that is what you can see, how the Z report is being populated. Oh, sorry, that is, yes, stopped working. Windows is collecting more information about the problem. This might take several minutes. So let me cancel this. Yes, so I'll reopen this one again. That was just, there was a small hitch there. These are machines. That's why also at times we tell people they need to sign a support and maintenance contract, because you never know. These things are made of human beings. They are not all that perfect. So at times things like those ones may actually hinder you from, because they are just machines and software is designed for operation, so they may not actually be all that perfect, but they will help you actually do your work. So that is it. So I'm restarting it again. So there you are. I will log in with my password. So normally they are super fast, and the system is super fast. Like you can imagine, I'm having the entire ERP. Yeah, I'm having the entire ERP just on this laptop. The entire ERP running everything just on this laptop. So you can imagine if you have those well qualified super server machines, then definitely the system will be very fast for you and all that stuff. So I was doing a Z report, so I'll do an F10. So you see it has saved for me. So definitely I will do the saving here. Say yes. See if at all it will freeze again. The problem is not the system, the problem is my hardware. So don't worry, I know the kind of laptop I'm using is an incorrigible. We call it incorrigible, and it's something that it's something of, but it's for, you know, quality testing purposes. So as it is actually loading, you may actually put some of your comments down there. You can even put some of the questions you have down there. Then I'll be able actually to answer you and take you through the entire system. And for those who will be interested maybe to know more about the system, please visit our offices. You can visit our offices at Lower Kabete Road, that is in Spring Valley Business Park. We are there in Block A, first floor. So that is where we are. So if you'll have some time, maybe you're interested to get yourself a POS, then please make sure you visit us there. Or you can call this number. Just call this number 0727 625 340. I repeat, 0727 625 340. So you call, either if you call, you can call, this is brother, you can save Gabriel Aura, or when you come to our offices, just ask for Gabriel Aura, or just ask for Aura. They know me, and you will be directed to me, and we will be able to pick it from there. Otherwise, enjoy a wonderful business hour with a wonderful system too. Thank you very much for being with us in this tutorial, and we'll see you next time with the next tutorials. Please remember to check on our new tutorial, another tutorial that is coming up about the back office. We are going to deal with the back office, so please make sure you join us there. Otherwise, thank you very much. God bless you.